fit, formidable, and fantastic.
Hey everyone, it's Cory McCarthy and welcome to a new episode. I recently got a message from a female viewer on Facebook,
essentially requesting that I do a fake Natty video for women.
Honestly, there aren't a lot of resources for women on this matter.
And women are just as targeted, deceived, and swindled as men by the fitness industry.
So I agree, a video was in order to explore what is possible and what clearly isn't. Let's start with the fat-free mass index. I would estimate, and I emphasize estimate, that the cap FFMI for females would be between 20 to 21, or more specifically 20.5, which is 4.5 points below the male ceiling. How did I arrive at this figure?
According to David Epstein's book, The Sports Gene, in measurements of thousands of elite athletes from soccer to weightlifting, judo, rugby, and more, it was discovered that each kilogram, or 2.2 pounds, of bone supports a maximum of 5 kilograms, or 11 pounds, of muscle. 5 to 1, then, is the general limit of the human muscle bookcase. The limit for women is closer to 4.1 to 1.
4.1 is 82% of 5.
And the accepted fat-free mass index cap for males is 25.
So it appears women can hold a max of approximately 82% of the max that males can. And 82% of 25 is 20.5. Rough concept, I know, but it gives us something to consider, something to play around with. Now let's apply that to two different female athletes and see how it plays out. First, the ever-popular Dana Linn Bailey.
According to her body space, her stats are 5'4" at 130 pounds and 10% body fat.
If you plug that into the FFMI calculator, which I will link in the description of this video,
you will find she has an FFMI of 20.2.
which falls right below the ceiling for natural females that I had estimated. However, that doesn't imply she is drug-free. Just to put things in perspective between the genders,
the male counterpart for the amount of mass Dana carries as a female would be Rob Riches, who is at the studied FFMI ceiling respective for natural males.
And no, I am not implying Rob is natural either, just that his level of muscularity is around the studied natural limits for males. With both Rob and Dana, you also need to consider how lean they are while still looking hard and full. And then factor in that Dana is a female, thus her natural hormone levels would not be as high as a male's to begin with. So that's another element playing against her. So there are certainly red flags with Dana Linn Bailey, but I wanted to use this as more of an example of a well-built female's FFMI rather than a call-out for drug use. Now, to clarify, could a girl with good genetics achieve Dana's size naturally? I think it's possible, but that would likely be around the ceiling for what is possible. Just as a guy with good genetics could possibly obtain Rob Riches' muscularity naturally, but again, that would be hitting that genetic ceiling. That being said, could this same theoretical girl also naturally maintain that size and fullness and hardness whilst ripped to the bone? Not fucking likely. Not without exogenous hormonal assistance, especially a female. Now, for the sake of further perspective, let's have a look at the flat-out jacked and obvious drug user,
as well as 10-time and current Miss Olympia champion Iris Kyle. According to Wikipedia, her stats are 5'7" at 157 to 165 pounds stage lean, and we will estimate a leanness of 8% body fat on stage. This would put Iris's FFMI at 22.8.
which means she is at least 2.3 points above the 20.5 limit that I estimated for females based on Epstein's book, and at least 2.6 points above Dana Linn Bailey's FFMI.
And if anyone thinks for one moment that Iris is not a walking pharmacy, you need to get your head checked.
So I'd say the 20.5 estimation I calculated, as the unenhanced female FFMI cap, that is, seems rather reliable. Granted, there are no studies on females and FFMI that I'm even aware of, so all I have to play with is that estimation.
So what about Michelle Lewin, since you asked about her, and she inspires a lot of women just like Dana Linn Bailey does? I will run her numbers. According to her interview at Simply Shredded, she is 5'4" at 120 pounds. And according to a Twitter post, she is 9.9% body fat, which I will round to 10%. Which will put her fat-free mass index around 18.6.
Which is 1.9 points below that estimated cap and 1.6 points below Dana Linn Bailey. Could a girl achieve Michelle's development naturally? Yes, very much likely. Genetics allowing, of course. But a female maintaining that at 9.9% body fat is where I draw some suspicion. Also remember, it is her job to look good. Literally. As I discussed in my previous video called Ripped at What Cost, which I will link in the description, unless you're planning to compete, I'd not recommend women drop their body fat percentages below 22% for the health of your hormones and fertility.
And 22% still looks great.
And even if you do compete, I'd not recommend you maintain those low numbers year-round. Also note, if a pro-level competition is ultimately your goal, you're going to also likely need to consider breast implants, which Michelle clearly possesses. This is not to say I advocate breast implants, but it tends to come with the territory of serious competitive level female physique athletes, because naturally, breasts will inevitably go as you lean out. Some women do not realize this, so I feel it needs to be said. And some might even argue that having breast implants automatically revokes your natural status. But I guess that depends on how far you take the definition of natural. Does it extend beyond pharma use, for instance? And on that note, don't think professional bikini or figure competitors are necessarily drug-free.
They might not gear up to the level of a female bodybuilder, but many are still using diuretics, thyroid drugs, ephedrine, clenbuterol, Anavar, and even Winstrol.
But please don't be discouraged. It is not my desire to perpetuate defeatist attitudes, but rather to promote realism. A great bikini and even figure body can be had naturally. I want to emphasize this.
Pictured is my friend and WNBF pro Jenny Laurent, who is active in both fitness modeling and figure competition. I spent a good deal of time with Jenny back in April and May of 2013, and I feel safe to say her claims of being drug-free are legit.
I just want to give the ladies a taste of what is possible to achieve naturally, as I did previously for the men using my friend Ike as an example. As I said, I want my viewers to be realistic but not fucking defeatists. Of course you will need to work hard, eat well, and stay dedicated, and that may sound cliche, but it's true. Anyhow, that's really all I have to say on this topic, at least for right now. As always, please do stir up discussion in the comments below. Please also like and share this video if you enjoyed it, especially if you think someone out there may be inspired by it or benefit from it. And do subscribe to my channel to keep on top of the new content. Otherwise, I will see you guys next time. Take care.